attention to that man behind the curtain. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
So I strongly suggest that you wake the f*** up.
Why is this boy's mom crying? And why will you suffer this exact same fate now unless you do something? Because the United States government is extraditing one of your college students named Richard O'Dwyer. That's right, because he actually had a website that linked to copyright infringing material. I'm not kidding. He just linked to copyright infringing material. He didn't host any on his website. If you've ever used torrents in the UK and you've shared files online, you can kiss your mum goodbye because the United States government's got a nice cold jail cell waiting for you. That's right, because they're going to extradite you, fly you to the United States, and they're going to imprison you for years. They're going to start doing this to hundreds, thousands of people in the UK. We got prisons we're building here to hold you all. Do you know the United States imprisons a greater proportion of its population than any other country on earth? And billionaire Alki David has offered to pay the legal expenses of Richard O'Dwyer once he lands in the United States for the best legal representation money can buy.
Mike, in the case of Richard, I will support all legal costs that will bring his case to the forefront to highlight the hypocrisy of big media companies such as CBS, who have almost single-handedly created the phenomenon of copyright infringement through illegal file sharing.
This case is going to bring out the fact that the copyright infringement online was caused by the CNET division of CBS. It was caused by NBC. It was caused by ABC distributing the software through ESPN and Go.com. And it was caused only by the big media companies themselves. All right, that's the only place you could get that software. Why did they all distribute that software? Why were they virtually the exclusive distributors of that software? And why did they promote it for copyright infringement? Okay, CBS television fostered it, encouraged it, and distributed all that file sharing software through a site they own called CNET. CNET has an office in the UK. That's right, one of the largest overseas offices is in the UK. Well, they committed a lot of online piracy. Take a look at these examples here. What? CNET and CBS substantially promoted Pirate Bay? And look at this. Last.fm, a UK company owned by CBS Television in the United States. Why did they make a deal with Pirate Bay to distribute their widgets? CBS was very enthusiastic with their deal about Pirate Bay. And CBS made this deal with Pirate Bay immediately after purchasing Last.fm. Immediately. They didn't even wait. Pirate Bay isn't even legal in the United States, and they threw their full support behind it. This is one of the widgets. They're endorsing Pirate Bay. And oddly enough, CNET division of CBS actually considered Last.fm to be spyware. Were they using these widgets to actually spy on Pirate Bay to take them down? It seems possible, since it was widely reported about that time period, that CBS was turning over user data to the RIAA from Last.fm. Even though CNET was offering this in 2010, they've taken it down because we squealed. But look how it came up in Google searches. Why did it come up pirated books downloads if you search pirated books? Why did it come up pirated movies downloads if you search that? Their search engine optimization featured the words pirated and pirating. Of course, the CBS CNET staff couldn't write enough glowing articles and reviews about how much they loved Pirate Bay, how much terrific material was there, all for the taking. Notice the editor's 4-star review and the coveted, "We recommend this add-on to all users." Look at this, they had LimeWire. Of course, Sumner Redstone had every reason to distribute as much LimeWire as possible, seeing he was profiting from the distribution of LimeWire by selling Viacom's Comedy Central material through LimeWire. Kazaa? 326 million downloads. Morpheus? Over 125 million downloads with the help of all their co-branded partners, Microsoft, AOL Time Warner, BitTorrent. It goes on and on and on. CNET CBS wanted you to download pirated media so badly, they offered downloads specifically to cover your digital tracks, reviewed by their editors, and distributed through all their co-branded partners. Look at the freaking date this was added to CBS CNET. While Sumner Redstone's Viacom was swearing in court that BitTorrent was a piracy site, their own CNET wrote this wonderful review of it. Pros: BitTorrent downloads can be delivered to you using any BitTorrent client app. Partial to uTorrent? No problem. Now you can mix your legal and pirated downloads into one client. Of course, every entertainment company distributed that software. Remember, you have to look at the dates on this software from CNET CBS. This is November 5th, 2010. Mega Upload Super Search. So you don't even have to use a search board. It actually scans through Mega Uploads. CNET staff reviewed it and recommended it. Of course, CNET CBS loved Rapid Share. Look at this. They added August 19th, 2008 when CBS owned it. The editors reviewed it and loved it. This particular little item lets you search Rapid Share with a special bot so you would never have to use an external site, downloaded right from their own servers. So BitTorrent is really funded mostly by big U.S. corporations. So it's the big U.S. corporations that caused the piracy, and now they're going to go after you and your mates forever. They distributed the software itself with instructional charts and guidance. We're using copyright infringing materials to show you how easy it is to do, to encourage you to do it. And now they're going to arrest you for actually doing it. Isn't it great? That's the American way. And you share this video with every single friend you have. You send it on Twitter, you put it on Facebook, you download this, you re-upload this video all over the internet. You make certain the world sees this video.
This is not about piracy. This is about censorship. And you might think, well, that's a wingnut theory. No, think about this for a second. So we're talking about the idea of free speech, and we're talking about the idea of free and independent promotion of products. This is the thing. This is how corporations tend to maintain their dominance. Marketing and a stranglehold on the channels of promotion. So these two acts have potentially disastrous consequences for things that we enjoy doing. So that alone should be getting you a little bit riled. Now, to start with, before you say, oh, well, I'm not in America, so this doesn't affect me. Yeah, it does. The problem is, a lot of the companies that would be affected by this legislation are in the States. And also, we're talking about a country that has a great deal of control over the internet. So that's something that you might want to consider to be somewhat dangerous. Now, allow me to give you a real world. This is not a speculative example. This is a real world example that happened just a few days back. So, Universal Music has been getting up in a tizzy over Mega Upload. Mega Upload they brand as a piracy site. On the 29th of November, Mega Upload was unavailable across many countries, including the US, because of a DNS takedown request, and it was branded as a rogue site. The law enforcement authorities got involved in this. So that, if anything, is a bit of an impression of what's to come. However, it doesn't end there, because this is the thing about this bill. It's not just about taking down, quote, rogue sites. It has far more dangerous implications. So, in support of Mega Upload, a bunch of artists, including P. Diddy, Snoop Dogg, Kanye West, produced a song in support of Mega Upload in order to try and raise awareness as to what was going on. YouTube was forced to take that song down when they received a takedown notice from Universal Media Group claiming it violated their copyrights. Now, the scary thing is, it didn't. It didn't violate their copyrights in any way, shape, or form. They did not own any of the content in that video, and yet they blocked it anyway. This is an example of obvious corporate censorship, trying to censor the video because it raises awareness of an issue that they don't want people to get all activist about. Trying to censor the video because it raises awareness of an issue that they don't want people to get all activist about. Why? Because they prefer that people just sit back and be apathetic about this kind of thing while they take away your rights one at a time. The scariest thing is apparently they didn't even need the rights in order to take it down. They didn't need to have a legitimate copyright infringement claim under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. In order to remove this video, they claimed that sometime in 2009, they'd made an agreement with YouTube which allowed them to take down stuff they didn't have the right to. That should scare the hell out of you. It really, really should. You're talking about a corporation that apparently has the right to widespread censorship across the second biggest search engine in the world, as well as, of course, the largest supposedly free video distribution site, and arguably the largest site which enables the promotion of free and open speech on pretty much any topic you can imagine across the internet, internationally. That's something that's really important. Internationally, this site, YouTube, is able to allow a medium of free speech to people in pretty much every country you can imagine. However, the problem with this bill is that it could effectively destroy YouTube and any similar site. Now, why, you might ask? There's a fairly large article, a definitive post on Tech Dirt that I'm referring to right here by Mike Masnick, and there is a link in the description below this video along with all of the other references that I have referred to here that tells you exactly why that is. Basically, SOPA and Protect IP allow the takedowns of site via DNS blocking simply because they could potentially enable copyright infringement. Now, up until this point, there's been something called the safe harbor rule, yeah? Safe harbor rule basically means that unless the site is actively participating in copyright infringement, i.e. it is knowingly and expressly infringing copyright, it can't be held liable for the actions of its users, yeah? It's the same reason that YouTube continues to operate. If some YouTube user uploads a bunch of copyrighted material, YouTube is not responsible for that. It's the user's responsibility. They're not the one who gets sued. The user gets takedown requests, and if, of course, it continues, they, of course, get banned from the site. If they continue to circumvent it, then, yes, the law can get involved in it. Just bear in mind that the courts are actually a limited resource, and we probably shouldn't be wasting their time with kids that upload bits of cartoons to the internet. It is corporate censorship. That's what it is. What does it stop? Pretty much everything you can imagine. We're talking about Let's Play content. If you enjoy that, that's gone. Review content. And you might say, well, that's protected under fair use, so that's not a problem, right? It's a bit of a problem if they take down the entire sodding website that you're hosting it on. And think about that. This isn't just a surgical removal of content. This is a mass tactical nuclear strike on pretty much everything that you enjoy.
The shit's chess, it ain't checkers.
What do you want us to do?
Say hell no, motherfuckers! But you can sleep when you're dead. Right now,